Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we're going to look at a new release from NARS. We have actually two new releases from NARS, more than that, but I picked up two. And this is the NARS Orgasm Rising Eyeshadow Palette and the Orgasm Foreplay Blush Quad. There was also a multiple released with this, which is kind of a cream stick that can be used elsewhere, but I went ahead and grabbed these two. Now, notice how deftly I ran by that O word. This is a family show. I promise you I'm not a prude, but NARS has the ability to constantly and consistently make me blush with the names of their blush. So I might have to say that word a lot. Maybe I should even give a little count on the bottom of the screen of how many times I have to say it. All right, but let's talk about it. We're going to try it on, and we're going to look at it in two different lightings. We're going to start with the NARS Orgasm Rising Eyeshadow Palette. This is a $49 limited edition in this pretty pink on pink packaging. I'll show you it here first in the pan. I've already made a mess of it, but we have 9 matte, shimmer, satin, and glitter shades, all inspired by the iconic Orgasm shade. It is limited edition, and it's mostly curated warm tones. What does curated mean? Now, I'm not literally asking what curated means. We're not dummies, we know, but sometimes curated is code word for previously existing shadows. See, NARS is really good with these limited editions, and they really mean it. When they're gone, they're gone. So a lot of these shades I recognize the names of, and we have seen before, either in other palettes or single shadows, and of course the Orgasm shade itself is in that too. Is this video going to get the wrong viewership? I always wonder. So YouTube does do keyword stuff by what you say. I need to start saying the word O. And maybe if you type it down below, type O instead of the word orgasm, so they'll add it to the list there, so that it doesn't censor you. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more of a prude than I think. At any rate. So these tones in here, in these pretty curated warm tones, you will most likely have seen elsewhere, but never together. So, you know, it's kind of nice to have them all in one spot. They do make a pretty look. The other fun thing about this palette is there's quite a few different looks in here. If you really look at the palette, we're going to swatch it in a moment, but if you really look at the palette, we have kind of definitely lighter, more gold tones, and it gets a little bit deeper and then very deep. So there's kind of a lot of looks you can do with this, and that's not always the case with a NARS palette, the really big ones, of course, but with these little 9 pans, this is a kind of a really user-friendly one, especially if you travel a lot. You know you're going to have a bunch of pretty shades that all work together. And now let's take a look at the cheekily mentioned, pun intended because it's blushes and such, NARS Orgasm Foreplay Blush Quad. Where are we at in our number count of how many times I've said the word orgasm? Okay, and there I am saying it. I'm driving up the count. This guy is $45, also limited edition. We have 4 shades that are interchangeably blush, highlight, or contour, depending upon your skin tone. These can also be beautiful on the eyes. You could go away for the weekend and do your whole face in this, depending upon your skin tone, but even if you have the deepest of skin tones, you still have a beautiful highlighter. You have some lovely shades for the eyes. Very usable, no matter what your skin tone is, which is really, really nice. Limited edition, also in this pretty kind of pink packaging here, which is, quite lovely and chic and so NARS. Now, I do have to tell you, I do love NARS. In my mind, they can do no wrong. Other people that are detractors of the brand get sick of the repeat shades, and I do know that I am slightly often embarrassed by having to say some of these. Foreplay, I get there's 4 shades, but must we, NARS? Must we? So let's go ahead and take a look at these shades in 2 different lightings. First of all, we'll start on my arm here in studio lighting. Just as they're laid out inside these limited edition palettes, we have the Eyeshadow Orgasm Rising Eyeshadow Palette on the left, that's $49, and the Orgasm Foreplay Blush Quad on the right, that is $45. A little bit not as pretty in the studio lighting as it is when I take it outside into the warm California sunshine. Super sunny day, so I'm playing around getting it into the shade to show you what these shades look like in natural lighting, because that is where they are the prettiest, definitely. But I would like for you to see how I've created this very glowy, and I think, if I do say so myself, stylish look. So let's go now to the demo. Stay right there. Okay, where should we start here? Let's go ahead and start. I like to finish the face sometimes, especially when, when we're all having to look at me. Let's make the face look a little better, right? Okay, so I have this nice little bronzing clean brush, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of color to my face with this shade right here. Now this all depends on skin tone. It's a little bit warm, but I just want to warm my face up with it. And again, that depends on your skin tone, how you'll use that. This palette right here, if we weren't just kind of warming my skin up in this video, this palette right here would also be beautiful on the eyes, just lovely on the eyes. Let's see, let me take, I'm going to do for my blush, I'm going to combine these two, and then we'll do this one right here as a highlighter. So I'm going to combine those two, and I will put the names up there on the screen because I don't want to bother to look now. Okay, and now we have some color on the cheeks. Should we do it a little bit more? I am equally mixing this just so you guys can really get a feel for what those two shades are. Since you are not choosing between the two shades, I'm mixing them. If you had a choice of buying one shade or the other, I wouldn't mix. Right? Okay, and these are very glowy. Am I seeing any texture on the skin? A little bit. A little bit, nothing horrific, but you know, when you are applying a glowy product, it's to be expected. And I'm going to take this pretty gold shade here and with this clean brush from Rephr, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a gold highlight and even down as a blush topper. You will see, not on camera because it is not that exaggerated, but you'll see a little bit of texture. When you apply a highlighty shade, that's hard to avoid. Okay, I will put the names of these up and add them to our O counter if I use any of those shades. Let's go ahead into this shade right here, this beautiful pink shade, and put this all over my eyes. Now this is a shimmer shade, and I don't care. Theoretically, I should put a matte. I'll go back and put a matte into the transition shade of my eye. Okay, using that same brush, I'm going to go in here and let's get that into the transition shade. I don't believe in following rules in makeup, but it is true if you have hooded eyes like I do, it is good to have a matte shade in the crease of your eye, as that does help the look of shadow, and it does help make the crease, what crease there is, recede a little bit. And I need all the help that I can get. Mine is, I've always had hooded eyes. It's not an age thing. Probably everything else is, but this is not. It's just who I am. Okay, and I am definitely glowing from the heavens here, but I am loving this look. It's super duper pretty. And I'm going to take this lower shade here, the slightly darker matte shade, and just kind of get the corners of the eye. Again, same brush. Why make more brush laundry, right? Okay. Then we're going to go, let's see, I have so many shades to choose from here, and you better believe I will be using this palette a little more in videos to come. I'm going to go into this middle shade right here and just kind of put that into the center of the eye because it is super pretty and I want to dive into it. And there we go. Voila, super pink, super glowy look. Yes. Many of these shades we have seen before, including the O shade. I didn't say it. Can I add it to the count if I didn't actually say the word? I don't know. But at any rate, yes, we've seen these before. If you're like me and you don't like to palette hop. What do I mean by palette hop? I guess it's kind of self-explanatory. I don't want to get out a ton of things and spread them all out. I just want to get stuff out in the morning and get ready and go. It is nice to have these. They coordinate. It's a nice face palette. You've really got a highlighter in here, or many choices for a highlighter, glowy blush, something that, depending on skin tone, can be used to warm up the face. And if you have a darker skin tone, can be used even as a blush or a very pretty highlighter. So a lot of options in there, and an eye palette. You know these are going to go together. a ton of different ways to put them together, kind of a choose your own adventure makeup, limited edition, pretty pink packaging. Are all the shades new? No, they're curated, but they're lovely, and it's fun to have them together like this. It's just a very NARS thing to do, and look at how well everything kind of mixes and matches and goes together. So I'm very, very happy with it. But let me hear what you have to say. I'm wondering, we're either going to have a lot of comments that kind of agree with me. Hey, it's curated. Hey, it's ready to go. Hey, it's NARS and it's pretty. But others are going to be like, no, bored, seen these shades before, done. So tell me where you weigh in, or maybe you're somewhere in the middle. It's what makes us a community, guys. Definitely weigh in with your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up regardless if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so we can keep our numbers growing. Come say a big hello over on TikTok and Instagram too. And you can support this channel by becoming a member for extra behind the scenes stuff and member live. I gotta have a non-member community live. We'll do that sometime real soon too. And you can also give super thanks in whatever way that you are involved, though. I am grateful to have you here, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.